US job openings dropped to a 2020 low, but on the other end, we do see promising signs here for both Bitcoin as well as Cronos. So what is going on? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. This video is sponsored by Moonlander, the leverage platform for trading on the Cronos chain. Let's start today's video by talking about the US job market, because we got a lot of news, as you can see here in this article, because the job openings for the month of March are lower than we estimated. So we currently have 7.2 million job openings in the US, but we estimated it to be 300,000 more, almost 300,000 more. So a big difference between what we expected and what it actually is. And I think the graph here shows it a lot better, because we do have this clear trend to the downside for job openings. But where we are now, it's the same level as what we were back in December 2020 in the pandemic. So this is kind of scary really for the US job market. But of course, guys, this is only one indicator. We also have some other indicators next to job openings. For example, we do have the hires, and hires are slightly higher in the month of March. And also we do have, for example, here the layoffs, and also the layoffs do show lower data. So we do have lower layoffs, less layoffs, and also a bit more hires. But overall, the job openings are becoming less and less. Overall, it's an okay number really for the US job market. And therefore also, what this means is that if you take a look here at this tool, the CME watch tool for the Fed, we do see that the odds have dropped significantly for a rate cut in the month of May to only about 7.1%. If we go to the month of June though, you do see that the most likely outcome still is a rate cut. So there, things haven't really changed. So overall, guys, we still have to wait for the month of June. And also, this meeting is only about 1.5 months away. So you don't have to be that much more patient. It might sound a bit contradicting, but what analysts, including me, are looking for are even worse numbers from the US job market. Because the more layoffs we get and the less job openings, the more likely it is that the Fed will actually intervene and lower those interest rates. And the lower the interest rates, the more likely it is again that people want to change their US dollars into more high-risk assets, like, for example, Bitcoin or CRO. So therefore, guys, that is what we're waiting for to get a more bullish environment for crypto. And talking about a bullish environment for crypto, what we're seeing on the chart here, for example, for Bitcoin, is looking like a very bullish setup. Because what we have here for Bitcoin is a nice ascending triangle, because you can see this line here is ascending and we have a steady, nice neckline. And again, guys, we tested it here, we tested it here, and right now we're testing it again. But overall, this is the 4 hour, so a really short-term line here. But we only have a few more days left until this whole pattern plays out. And I can say again, guys, it's always about odds, right? It's always about odds. But in these types of setups, like an ascending triangle, the most likely outcome is always to the upside. The short-term setup is also supported by the long-term setup if we go to the weekly candles here for Bitcoin. Because where we are as of right now is right at this blue line. This blue line is a 21-week simple moving average. And last week we closed above it. And that's a great setup for Bitcoin, because let's take a look here. 2021. What happened after we broke the 21-week simple moving average? We went up again. So we talked about this already in a previous video. And if you don't want to miss this, guys, don't forget to really strap in and hit that subscribe button. But it is very important, guys, because we closed above it. So it happened. It really happened. And therefore, also the bullish case on the long term is supported quite nicely. And just take a look at this, right? The setup looks so much similar. It looks so much similar. We go up, we go down, we go up again. It's, I think, a matter of time before we are again at about 109K for Bitcoin. So a lot of bullish catalyst for Bitcoin. But what about Cronos? Well, let's talk about that after a quick word from today's sponsor. If you're also seeing bullish signs for Bitcoin, you can now start a leverage trade for Bitcoin up to 1000x on today's sponsor, Moonlander. And Moonlander is working on the Cronos ZK EVM chain, but soon also will come to EVM. and therefore you can simply use your CRO or ZK CRO as collateral to make your trades. No KYC or nothing. Start using Moonlander in the link in the description down below. For CRO in the short term, we can draw a very similar pattern as what we have seen with Bitcoin, as this is also an ascending triangle, so bullish in the short term for the 4-hour candles. But if we zoom out a little bit and we go to the daily chart, we can also see the formation here of, what is this? A symmetrical triangle. And a symmetrical triangle is neither good nor bad, but what you can see in this setup here is that time is running out, because typically we stay within these ranges until something happens. So either a break up or a break down. What I like about this current setup, if you zoom in a bit more, you can see we've been trading above this red line for quite a while now, above this red line. And this line is very important because here you can see it acts as resistance, and now it is acting as support. So honestly, guys, I think the most likely outcome is maybe one final bounce to the line and then a breakout to about 10 cents first. And 10 cents is very important because it's also a simple emotional level for CRO. Also on the rainbow chart, we can see the continuation really of the wave pattern. And if you want to learn more about these waves, you can see here, check out this video in the top right, there we discussed it in depth. But okay, what we're seeing now is a nice continuation to the upside again after we touched the lower logarithmic trend line. And it might not look exactly like what we've seen in November 2024, but in my opinion, it looks maybe a lot more what we've seen in November 2023. So a few weeks of slow growth and then finally one big blast to the upside. So here, 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then we have one big blast to the upside. Who knows? That's something I'm going to check at least. And also, I think it kind of aligns nicely with the MACD again. And if you don't know, MACD, moving average convergence here. And we do see that these waves are also slowly grinding towards green. So I think it's a good sign they actually might be up for some green growth again. Honestly, it is very nice to finally see some positive signs again. After a lot of bearishness, after a lot of uncertainty with the Trump tariffs, I'm glad to see at least some positive change, hopefully in the future, because as I mentioned earlier, time is running out, not only for Bitcoin, but also for CRO. So guys, make sure you're strapped in. This is not the time to lose track of what's happening with crypto. This is the time actually to get your positions and to strap in. So guys, don't forget to strap in, hit the like button, and we'll see you in a new video. But if you want to learn more about those waves, again, check out this video to the right of me.